Hey, housewives, come on in. You know the dirty dishes are still in the sink from yesterday and the laundry is still in the basket. Pop your AirPods in and make yourself at home here.
I'm Tracy.
I'm Tori.
And we are your Unlikely Housewives. Stepping out in faith and believing that God calls the unlikely, we are here to show you the appreciation and validation you deserve, lead you to authentic relationships, and release you of believing the cultural lies to restore your faith and wellness.
Pull up those high-waisted yoga pants, tighten your top knot, and reheat your coffee for the third time. Turn up the volume, and let's go.
Hey, housewives, welcome back.
Hey, housewives, have we got a treat for you? Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Celebrate good times. Come on. How was that?
That was good.
That was total harmony.
It was. I'm going to say it. It was harmony.
Happy anniversary, Tori.
Happy anniversary, Tracy.
Guys, we're here 2 years.
Oh my gosh.
We made it.
For now.
I am so proud of us.
And okay, so here are some fun stats for podcasters, okay? There's a thing called PodFade for people that do podcasts. And 70% of people who start podcasts do not make it past 10 episodes.
Dang.
Yes.
So we're in 30%.
Yes, we are.
Celebrate that.
Yes. Celebrating that. And then I want to say that it's hard to tell, but 4 to 6 million podcasts out there. 4 to 6 million, y'all. That's a lot. But over 2/3 of those have not been active in 6 months.
Wow.
So again, small win. There was a time we took off 6 months. No, we took off 4 months, really. Because July, and then we took off August through December, and then we came back in January.
Yeah, you're right.
So
really, that was about
4 months.
4 or 5 months, yeah.
So look at that, just celebrating the little things.
Yeah, and we made it this whole year, technically, January through December, with just the summer off of 2023.
Yes, we did.
So we're celebrating that win of not coming back.
Managing family crises better. And so
we did manage family crises better this year because there were just as many as the year before.
Well, yeah.
Or worse.
Yeah. 2023, I think 2022 was a hard year for you, for your family, right? And then 2023 has been the hard year for my family.
It's been a lot.
It has been a lot.
But we're ending on high notes.
We are. It is December. 2023 is almost over.
I know.
Amazing.
All right. Tell me your favorite memory of us podcasting this year.
Oh, man. Okay. I have to go to Seth. Because that one was just kind of like a dream guest. And then actually getting him in person, in my house.
Yeah, he definitely was the one I sweated the most about.
That's just because he's so freaking smart, y'all. If you haven't listened to that episode more than twice, you need to go back and listen to it again, because I guarantee you will hear something you didn't hear the last time. But I would say Seth was probably my favorite. And I was just having him in the house made me nervous.
Yeah.
And then being able now since then to hang out with him afterwards and at different events and things that has been a lot of fun, and I'm really thankful for that. So
yeah, that was good. And he brought a lot of awareness to our housewives. I remember receiving texts and messages and being whoa, my eyes were open. I really appreciate that perspective that he gave, and just so much knowledge that came with it. It really opened a lot of people's eyes and hearts.
Yeah. And if you haven't been to his website with his organization, you can go to whiterose.life and find out more information there and find a lot of the history that he talks about and the resources that he shares. Yeah. So there's that one. Okay. So how about you? And I already think I know which one has been your favorite.
But it's hard to do that. I asked you the question and I can't answer it.
And that's not fair. That's like telling their children, the children going, Mom, pick a favorite. And then when you do, it's like, well, see, I couldn't really.
It's funny. We talked about this last night. We were at our daughters. They both play for the same soccer club. And the coach was like, I've got one award for one player. I don't do participation awards. Not everybody's getting an award. Not every, Yeah. And afterwards, we talked about it. I know we loved it. We encouraged that. And afterwards, we were making jokes in the car on the way home. And it's like, yeah, because then you feel bad for the 4 people who didn't get it because you gave participation awards for 10 of the other players. But then there was just a few that didn't. So I don't want to do that because I really could go, I loved this episode and I loved this episode and this episode.
Yes.
And I don't want to miss anyone. I don't know. It's hard. I think the one that connects with me the most is Noreen.
Really? That's not the one I would have guessed.
Really? What would you have guessed?
I was going to guess Jill and Mark.
Oh, well, gosh. Okay. Yeah, that is my favorite.
Because y'all, I casually said it in a couple of the episodes.
Yes.
But man, did she fangirl.
I did.
Like, if I had...
Okay, so let's go... Okay, that was like
the pre-interview, I should have filmed it because I should have had that, like, her responses and her facial expressions on that. That would have been priceless.
We'll have to find that. Well, okay, let me share this because that absolutely would be my moment, of being able to, one, have a message and her requesting, like, hey, I'd love to be on your podcast. I'm like, oh my gosh, I just found a picture of us from like 2012 too. That's so cute. But anyway, the reason I said Noreen, which when you all get this, you'll have to wait for it because it's actually coming out 2 weeks after this one.
Yeah.
But it relates so much to my life and the growth that I've had. And so I was super encouraged by that episode.
Yeah.
And it really focuses on communication and marriage specifically and in relationships. And I love talking about marriage. And so that was...
Yeah, Noreen's really good. Yeah. She's always fun to talk to. Can we just bring her in and tell her we're going to record another podcast?
And just hang out with her?
And just hang out with her so I can get another session.
It is like a therapy session. So we've talked about this before. Housewives, we get guests on this show for you all. But it's really for us.
Right.
We learn so much. Again, I think, just to highlight another one, Jody, she is a parent coach.
Yeah.
And that was done in the beginning of the season. And it really helped a lot of things for me. I used a lot of her verbiage in talking with kids. I think we overthink so much of parenting and what to say and what to do. And really, it's just being and listening. Kids can come up with their answers and what they really need if you just say, how can I help you? And that was one thing she taught me was just like, because I'm a fixer and I just go straight at it with the kids. What do you need? Let's do this, versus going, well, what do you think you need? Like I'm at that age where I have 2 teenagers, a preteen, and they're all needing something different, but they've got to come up with what they need. And so that was a good lesson for me. I still use that.
Yeah. I mean, and that one was one that we didn't foresee coming, right?
Right.
Like, because that was...
Well, we talked to her specifically about anxiety in children is kind of like one of the things that we talked about. And then the parenting help kind of came after the fact and it was super helpful.
Yeah. Yeah. It was really great. I mean, I think too, the other favorite thing that I've had from this year, this season particularly, is like, because my network has expanded so drastically in the last 6 months, just because of what other opportunities our family's been doing and things like that. And so like I'm out meeting new people more, but in networking events or club events, things of that nature, and then getting to go to the podcast convention and meeting people like Brittany, who is another episode. I mean, and a fantastic episode about teen anxiety, and she's a professional speaker, and that was something that I didn't see. It's just so, it's been really interesting how many doors God has just opened and just said, here, like, these are your people, like, I want you to talk to. Well, and Housewives, we want you to know, like, we listen to what you have to say. I have to give a shout out to my friend Jessica, because she has, when she listens or she hears someone else, she's like, oh my gosh, I need to tell Tracy they need this, person on our podcast. And so 2 of her people are going to be on our podcast next season. And it's just been so awesome. In the spring.
Still same season. Sorry, next winter, January, February, somewhere in there.
2024.
Yes, 2024. So it's just awesome to know that people are going, okay, this is a topic that needs to reach the masses. And let's go to Tori and Tracy because they're going to broadcast it.
Yeah. We want you to know, I mean, we don't take this for granted because please know that if there weren't people listening, we wouldn't be doing this.
We wouldn't? I feel like we'd still just be talking.
Well, we would be we just wouldn't be recording it, I think, or posting. Because there's a lot of stuff like, this is the fun part. The recording part is the fun part. Sitting down and talking to each other, fun part. The not so fun part is all the behind the scenes stuff that like you guys don't realize, which is fine. I mean, nobody does unless you're doing it in the podcasting industry, like how much behind the scenes stuff goes on between having an episode edited and doing intros, outros and ads and then like putting it up there, scheduling it, trying to promote it, do graphics, all the things like, so this is the short part, honestly. Yeah. I mean,
the short part.
Can we compare this to sex? Like this is... This is
the fun part.
And then the 9 months after for having a kid. I mean, like that's labor and all of that. Like that's everything else before the episode is born. So
what a analogy.
Yeah, analogy, comparison. I just, I try. I want you to remember things like that, people. So
okay, since we're celebrating wins, let's celebrate some episodes. And one that I want to celebrate is our Blue Valley Excellence slate. Their episode reached 1,000 people, which was incredible because one, they were using it as a tool for their campaign to share about them during the election, but also you got to know them and they are just incredible people in our community. And they also reached other people and brought to the podcast. So I love that. And they also, I will say, unfortunately, if you're not local, they did not win. Yep.
However, they all took something away from it that God is going to use it. Like there's some exciting things coming for them. And
God uses everything.
He does. And he's so cool. And so it wasn't a loss. Let's put it that way. It wasn't a loss. Yeah. It was exactly what it needed to be. And I'm excited to see what comes from those people, those 4 individuals after in the next couple of years.
Yeah.
But also, like, it's incredible to just hear 4 people who were parents who heard a calling, heard God speaking to them saying, I want you to step into this space. And it doesn't mean you know the outcome. Yeah. It didn't mean that they were going to win. It just meant I'm going to use this to grow you, to grow my kingdom, to glorify me in the process. And you had 4 obedient servants right there.
Yeah.
And that's pretty amazing.
I don't know. I kind of feel like you're even just referencing how we felt initially when we started the podcast.
Yeah.
You know, like we knew that we were feeling called to do a podcast. We didn't know what it looked like. You know, both of us looked at it differently in getting started. You know, thankfully we came to the same page and same timeline and all the details that fell out. But like we just stayed obedient. You know, and God's changed the path. Like we were going to talk about the fact that we had all guests this year or this season. You know, we didn't expect that. We did our initial one when we kicked off. No, we didn't even have one kicking off this season. That's just us. This is the first one of us since May.
We've missed y'all.
I know. Well, and I think what's so cool is we didn't expect that. But you guys, the guests that we have had have been so incredible. And the feedback that we're getting. Even just one this morning as we're sitting here before we record, just the text that is like, and thank you, Janelle. If you get to this one, like she just sent a message and was like, hey, I'm just getting caught up. Haven't listened to all of them, but it's just truly speaking to me. And I think that is just those little winks that we need to just keep going because while it may not be, you know, a topic that you want to listen to or need to this week, you can always come back to it and listen to it. You know, month, 2 months later, or refer it to a friend.
I was going to say, there one in particular that you've referred to multiple people is the hormone one.
Yeah, from last spring.
Yeah.
And praise God and all this connection. And she's received referrals from us just putting the podcast out there. And when someone comes and asks questions, like it's so nice that we can just send that and be like, here, get to know her here, and then send her a message. You know, and she's not the only one. We have other guests that have received referrals and connected because of this. And so if you know of anybody that is one local, because we love having them in person, and it helps grow a local small business or a community member. That's absolutely what we love to connect with. But we've had a lot of people online too and Zooming.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, housewives, we are so excited. Oh my goodness. This is a dream come true. Y'all have heard us talk about our sauna sessions from the beginning, and we have Sunlighten as a sponsor of Unlikely Housewives.
Why wouldn't we have a sauna session that brings all of the good juices flowing right out of our bodies when we're detoxing? Bring it right to the Unlikely Housewives.
Exactly. But first of all, some of those benefits. The intention of getting in the sauna for us was not to create a podcast. No, have another job.
We wanted to sweat. Detox. We wanted to boost our immunity. We wanted the reducing of inflammation and some weight loss. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's anti-aging. I mean, there's so many benefits to infrared sauna sessions. And so that was our initial purpose. Yeah. And just to vent, it was that season of life that we just needed to sit and talk about what was going on. And that's where it all happened, was in the sauna.
Did you realize that there are studies that show heat therapy produces endorphins, those feel-good emotions? So we were boosting our mood and ideas.
So far, we boosted so far that a podcast idea came just flowing out.
You guys, this is an incredible opportunity for you. You can have up to $600 off using our link, which is get.sunlighten.com/unlikely. That's get.sunlighten.com/unlikely. We'll put that link in the show notes for you too. But $600 off a Sunlighten purchase. The one that I have got is the Impulse 3-in-1 Believe, and it's amazing, y'all. It has been the best health investment for our family. I'll say my friends because I invite them over.
That's how I use the saunas in your.
I know.
Sweat. I come over and sweat.
But it's so good and such a benefit.
And you said family investment. The kids can get in it too.
Exactly. The second I hear that there is a stomach bug going around class, get in the Sunlighten, girls. Like, you're going to do this in 20 minutes. Let's make sure your immune system is up to par to not bring that home for anybody. It is a family investment and you will not regret it. Again, that link for us is get.sunlighten.com/unlikely.
All the link will be in the show notes.
It's incredible. I mean, the technology that we can use today to make this happen is incredible. And then too, I mean, if you, dare I say, our humble beginnings in a closet, like on my holy crap messed up closet. But I mean, can you imagine doing this podcast still in the closet while the whole bathroom renovation had been going?
That wouldn't have happened.
And for the record, if you're keeping track, I just want you to know it's December, and at the moment my bathroom is still not done completely yet.
So how many months are we on?
The flood happened a couple days after Christmas last year.
Oh my goodness.
So
this is your baby. What you were referring to earlier, that analogy.
Possibly. I'm just but it's like, just if you've ever done renovations and on any scale, God bless you, because I will never do any kind of renovation ever again. It'd be easier to buy a house.
Yeah.
Just walk away, throw a match in and walk away. So over that. Anyways, but this is what you guys get from us, is the real life stuff. Like, it's still, everything's a process.
Yes. Well, in our celebration today, we are at 2 years and we're so excited for what 2024 is going to bring. One thing that we have learned is how to manage our schedule better. So when we started, at least a year and a half ago, 2 years, when we started, we would record one for the next week. And so there was always panic of like, oh my gosh, we got to get another one recorded so that we can get it to the editor and we can get it to release. And we honestly, it was our intention to get ahead, but mom life just, we couldn't.
We could not.
So we started really strong in July. And we were like, we are going to get ahead so that when our kids are sick or when something comes up or when we want to travel, like we have them. And we have stayed ahead And we have episodes ready for you all the way through February.
Yeah.
So look at us planning. Hey,
high five on that one. Know that it's a season, and learn as you go.
Yeah.
We can, and other things that we've figured out too is that we have guests on and we may record 2 episodes at once or whatever, because then it saves them time, our time.
Right.
And we just make the most of it because we try to do shorter episodes for the guests now, especially too, because we were finding that those are more listened to when they're not as long. And so, I mean, it's a process. I mean, this is so much a process. I mean, even from the beginning of the season when we were in my office, we were like, that's the great space. We're going to do this and this is fantastic. And now I'm like, now we're in the dining room and
we're on our 4th location in Tori's house.
It is. So
thank goodness for Tori's house.
We're just rotating. Really, it's just kind of.
One thing that we would love for you guys and you listeners, housewives, is to celebrate with us by writing us a review. We encouraged that so much in the first year, and then we didn't as much this last year. And so all of our reviews say that they're over a year ago. And we want to make sure when people come to find us, because our listens are increasing and we're moving up in the ranks in different categories and we are growing, which is awesome. And we just want to keep that algorithm going so more people hear our episodes. And in doing so, we would just love some more reviews. So if you hop on Apple Podcast and write a review, we get it. It tells us who wrote it. It can be anonymous if you want, or you can leave your name. And we will give some shout outs in the beginning of next year when we release to those that wrote reviews for us, because we would love to have you guys celebrating with us how far we've come and hopefully where we're headed.
Yeah, because it is, I mean, we're not going anywhere. This is very clear that God keeps.
Well, we're going somewhere.
Yes, we're moving up, not going backwards or leaving. So you're kind of stuck with us now, guys. Like, sorry. But we're very grateful and thankful because we wouldn't be here without you. And we know that you guys feel like we do. And that, again, that's why we started this thing, is because we knew the conversations we were having and the thoughts and the feelings and the questions we were asking each other was, you too. And so you're not alone. You're not going to be alone. We're going to be here and
And if there's something that you want, send us a private message. We message with people and specifically Instagram all the time. Or if you know one of us, text us. If you have an idea or a topic or a person to share with us, share. It may not happen right away, but it's something that feedback is so valuable and for what we can create and where we can go with this.
Yeah, because this is not a monologue. I mean, it feels like a monologue for us. We're just, putting this out into the space, World Wide Web. But we want to hear from you guys. We want to know, because there are things that we have these grand plans of would you guys want a sweatshirt that says "Bring the Joy"
that we wear all the time?
That we wear all the time. Would you want something like a community space? Would you want episodes that don't have ads with a a subscription service? Are those things that you would want? Because we want to put our time and effort in things and spaces that you guys want, not what we want. Because we're doing this for you, mostly because God told us to, but because of you. So tell us where you're wanting more, because we love that. We want to have a conversation with you guys. You guys are with us.
Yeah. And we just want to celebrate yet again where we are, where we're headed. And we wouldn't be here without you, housewives.
Yeah. I mean, to think that we're almost at 20,000 downloads.
I know, it's insane. We should break it in 2023.
Yeah. Yeah. And we'll let you guys know when that officially happens, because it'll be awesome.
Yeah. I think we only had a little over 5,000 in our first year, right?
We hit 1,000 downloads by the end of 2021 in our first 3 weeks.
Okay.
Because...
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Because that was 2021. And then 2022, we were almost... I think we had 9,000 episodes when we did our anniversary episode last year.
So then did we try to hit 10?
We didn't hit 10 until January.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so we're going to hit 10 more before the year ends.
That's, y'all, we can't thank you enough. Yeah. I mean, that's
huge.
That's just...
I can't wait till the day that we celebrate 100,000 episodes or downloads.
I love that.
Not episodes. That would take a really long time.
We're going to be this until we're little old ladies.
What fun would that be? Oh,
my
man.
God. When we have no filters anymore. And like,
wait, you have one?
Yeah, that's true. I don't. Not anymore. That's a good point. But then also too, the stories that we have, most of those people will be dead that we could actually tell. Like, can you imagine the freedom that we will have? Oh, it'll be so. And our kids won't be listening to us anymore.
It's
either.
true. I mean, do they now?
Well, some of their friends do. And they're like, did your mom say that? And you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay, can I tell you a funny mom story?
What did you do?
I didn't do it. This one is on Andrew. Okay, these are.
He's not a mom.
Oh my God! But I have 2 girls. Okay, 2 girls. She has 2 boys, 2 girls. So there's a sense of humor of things that go with girls, and a sense of humor of things that go with boys.
Yes,
a little bit of that.
Mm-hmm.
Well. Andrew took one of our girls to the grocery store, and they were looking in like the deli section or whatever, and like the pre-prepared foods that you can get, sides, casseroles or coleslaw or whatever. And one of those things in there, it was cooked baby carrots. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew's like, that doesn't look good. And he referenced a body part that it would look like for boys.
Mm-hmm.
And mentioned it to said daughter in the grocery store. And so now her favorite thing to say or to bring up is, have you seen any little orange boys that are missing their penises?
Oh my gosh. Orange boys. Oh, that's good.
And as a parent, there's a difficult balance between laughing and not laughing.
Yeah.
To encourage and discourage. Like,
and I struggle with that. If it's funny, I gotta laugh.
Yeah. And so, but when, and kids also don't understand, like when they repeat it 1,000 times.
I know. Then it gets old.
It gets old.
Yeah.
And you're like, this isn't funny anymore. This is just annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Quit bringing up penises. And and
that's so funny.
But yeah, so that currently is what's going on in our house. So just some mom humor, family humor for you guys. Just that, my 9 and 10-year-old
hang around us. Your girls will learn about.
They don't need to. Apparently, just hanging out with daddy, and daddy brings it up. And it's like, look, that looks like, y'all, seriously. I'm like, okay. So when the principal calls and says, Andrew's like, can we please give them baby carrots for lunch?
And then that'll be the topic of conversation.
And I said, sure, be happy to do that. And then when the lunch lady call or the teacher that's in the lunchroom calls, I said, you're going to sit down with her. And he's like, never mind.
I still think you should do it.
I should do it and not tell him. And that way, when the phone call happens, I'm just like, that was on you. All right. So we'll end on that, housewives. Just a little humor for you. But thank you for the last 2 years and to many more.
Yeah.
And happy anniversary, Tracy.
Happy anniversary, Tori.
And cheers. Cheers.
We'll see you next week.
And remember to celebrate the wins, housewives.
Celebrate them all.
All right. Bye.
Whether we made you laugh or cry today, we pray you feel appreciated, bolder and braver than yesterday, stronger and more faithful for tomorrow, and living in who you were made to be today.
Join our online community on Facebook, link in the show notes, and be sure to review and subscribe on Apple Podcasts or wherever you enjoy listening. Until next time, housewives, we give you permission to walk confidently, free, and to be intentional in your slippers or stilettos.